Assalamu alaikum, I'm Dana Abdulkarim. I'm the first Muslim woman to ever represent England in any sport. My sport was rounders, and I had the chance to play, to captain, and to coach. This is my story, my journey, about education, sport, and equal opportunity, and how I feel they offer everyone.
Dana Abdulkarim is a school teacher and assistant head, as well as a former England Rounders international player and coach.
I'm the second of 5 children. I'm half Palestinian and half English, and I'm a Yorkshire woman. So despite being an Arab and a Muslim, I am Yorkshire through and through. But education's always been important. So for all 5 of us, it's been about fulfilling potential, whatever that was. So we've never been driven in a certain direction. It's always been, you must try and achieve your best. And, I have a typical Arab dad. If I came home with a test result saying I'd got 80%, his first question would be, well, what happened to the other 20?
From a young age, it was apparent that Dana was gifted at sports. She quickly excelled at a number of them, including rounders, netball, cricket, and football.
My father recognised the importance of being healthy, and that meant being active. And actually, at a time when I was a young person, you think about you mixing with your teammates and you're learning how to compromise, you're learning how to cooperate. There's a heck of a lot of skills within sport that I think my dad was able to then utilise with me as a daughter and say, right, well, you know how you learn how to lead those people and make those decisions when you played sport? Well, why don't you try and share with your siblings? And there's a lot of things that actually were a strength through sport. So it made his time easier. It also meant I ran off all my energy and would go to bed at the right time because I was tired.
As Dana progressed through the sporting ranks, she wrestled with wanting to dress modestly and wear a hijab.
I looked in the media and there was nobody like me. And I was really fearful that there was a limit for how long I could access sport and physical activity. And my dad turned around and went, educate yourself. Go and look in the Quran, go and see what it says. And then obviously I did the searching and I saw and I realised that actually I can participate, but I'm going to have to be creative. So I found long sleeve tops and I had a hat that I would wear, and the netball rules at the time said that you had to wear a dress or a skirt. So I had to wear that, but then I would wear tracksuit bottoms underneath, and I'd end up being very, very dressed just so I could get to the start line. And it was hard because I had nobody to copy, but I was determined. I enjoyed sport. I was determined to try and do these things, and also very much felt that I wanted to see how far I could get. I didn't want to have to put a limitation onto my sport. I didn't want to have to move away from mainstream.
The difficulties Dana faced in reconciling her faith and the dress code rules of some sporting governing bodies ultimately led to her choosing one sport over all the others.
My parents, knowing and experiencing what we'd seen previously, spoke to the governing body and said, look, she's a Muslim. And their immediate response was, well, she can wear tracksuit bottoms and we'll make a long sleeve top. So whereas in the past I'd had to find the solutions and then met with some resistance, this smaller governing body, maybe without having the player base to be able to pick and choose, just said, well, we can do that for you. That's not a problem. It doesn't change how she plays. But it's been a learning curve because I think I was involved in physical activity before more Muslims in the Western world in particular had kind of come into that arena. But now I'm thrilled that it's so much easier.
Dana excelled in rounders enough to get the call up to represent her country.
It always feels strange to say I have 67 international caps. However, I am incredibly proud of that. I have 67 international caps as a player. 5 occasions I got to captain my country. I then coached my own England squad for a period of 9 years, of which they never lost a competitive game. So I hold on to that really tightly. I'm incredibly proud of the organisation for being bold enough to not be bothered about who I was and just judge me on the player I was, because I think that's for me what sport's all about. But it's been an absolute honour to, as a Muslim, also then be an England captain, because I think that says a lot about this country and the kind of people that are in it.
Dana's international career went hand in hand with her education, and she left Liverpool University with a teaching degree in PE, sport and dance.
I wanted to become a teacher because I believe that everybody should thrive and not survive. I love sport. I love and I'm interested in the stories within sport. And I think you can learn about deception and ethics and right and wrong, and you can learn about technology and science all within this umbrella. So for me, bringing those two areas, I'm not just a passionate player, I'm a passionate gatekeeper of sports potential. So wanting to work in schools was about trying to use sport as a vehicle to allow young people to thrive.
Sport, health, and education for Dana are not just about opportunity or well-being, they are also an essential part of her faith.
Health is Islamic. Looking after your health and being psychologically well and mentally well and physically well is actively endorsed within the Quran. So physical activity is endorsed. It's just culturally we haven't done it. Again, it's that idea of you can't be what you can't see. We haven't seen Muslim women walking in the park together, so then Muslim women don't. Or we haven't seen Muslim women taking themselves to the gym, and they haven't then, as a period of history, by following it on. It's become this prophecy of, well, we don't do it because we never have. But when you look at what it means to be Muslim, it means to look after your health and to recognize how being active and moving is within the Quran. So it really shouldn't be. It's a no-brainer for me. There is no end point to how a person can be educated. There's no end point to how you can learn to look after yourselves. I'm continuing to find new ways for myself and my self-care. And I think that's a good thing, because there are going to be challenges. There are going to be experiences that we've never anticipated or gone through before, this pandemic being one of them. And so if you don't continue to learn, you put a limitation on how far you can go with things. And you learn in life, you learn in religion, you learn in profession. And I think that's a brave thing to do. The people that hold on to comfort and don't see the limitations of their knowledge and then see the next level as an aspirational thing to seek, they live in a box. And I don't believe in living in a box. I think we smash through them, and then life is ours as opposed to somebody else's that's on a shelf of cultural habit.